Hello everyone, I'm James Milan. Welcome to this Town Hall update. On today's update, our town manager Jim Feeney and I will be discussing a number of different things, as we always do. We're going to start looking at we will get to recent pedestrian crashes in town. We'll get to the latest update on the Mass Ave Appleton Corridor Safety and Accessibility Project. There's a couple of events coming up at Town Hall that we want to talk about. There are 4 new police officers who were recently sworn in. But we are going to start by talking about the new Menotomy Preschool, which is recently opened and now housed in the brand new high school. Jim, what should people know? Oh, first of all, sorry, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, and Happy New Year, James.
Yes, and I apologize for forgetting to do that.
That's A-okay. So, yeah, the Menotomy Preschool opened last week, and that marks the exciting conclusion of Phase 2 of the Arlington High School building project. So, the Menotomy Preschool is our local integrated preschool program that has been housed at the old Parmenter School building for the past few years. It had been previously located at the high school and was moved off-site during construction, and as I mentioned, was the final building to open as part of Phase 2. So there was a wonderful ribbon cutting last week where the families and children got to come experience the space for the first time, which is just marvelous. It has so much color and a lot of like natural details. There's some real architectural personality in terms of like some decorative design, like tree elements that are incorporated into the entrance and the front lobby. There's a ton of natural light. So while that's exciting, we also want to share these spaces with the public. We are planning public tours of the new Phase 2 spaces for January 20th between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon, beginning in the front lobby off of Mass Ave. From there, we can see the forum stairs, the cafeteria. We can check out the library, as well as the new humanities classroom wing, as well as the district administration offices and the Menotomy Preschool space. So great opportunity for those folks who, sort of drive by on a daily basis or walk by or bike by and have been, eager to see what it looks like on the inside. We invite everyone to come by on January 20th.
Which is a Saturday, I think, right?
It is.
Okay.
And certainly want to give kudos to the many members of the Arlington High School Building Committee who have been shepherding this project along now for a number of years, and our building project partners. We have an excellent construction management firm in Consigli, as well as an outstanding OPM firm, Owner's Project Manager, Skanska, and a top-notch design team in HMFH Architects. So they designed the building, but we hope residents will join us on January 20th to experience these truly beautiful new spaces.
Yeah, you and I briefly talked right before getting on air about just that wow factor for this new building, and it really is quite dramatic.
Indeed.
So hopefully people, and everybody's well aware that it was a very expensive project, that is our community's project. So I do agree with you. I hope that lots and lots of people will take up this offer or future opportunities to go see that space. Wonderful news there. Less wonderful, let's talk about recent pedestrian crashes in town.
Yeah, sure. Certainly unfortunate news and, a bit of a change of pace from a lot of the updates that are provided. But I did want to take this opportunity in speaking not only with you here at ACMi, but the public at home to notify them about, we've actually had 4 recent pedestrian crashes since November of 2023. 2 outside here on Park Ave, as well as 2 on Mass Ave. Obviously all of these incidents did result in injuries to the pedestrians. And, we at Town Hall and in the various departments are concerned about everyone's safety, but we also know the community is concerned as well. So I just wanted to bring awareness to that issue and let the community know that we've certainly already instituted some short-term solutions and are committed to studying and looking at longer-term solutions as well. You may have noticed that out here on Park Ave, we've already installed a new signage array of high-vis pedestrian crossing signs, put new bollards in the crosswalks. We've also, through the help of the Arlington Police Department, really increased enforcement through posting a patrol officer at some of these busier intersections during the peak commuting hours, both in the morning and afternoon. So with that, I will also, and obviously there will be more to come in terms of plans moving forward, but in the near term, to continue to raise awareness about this issue, we will be launching what I'd call a public safety campaign using our social media platforms as well as electronic billboards here in town to alert all road users to be alert, be patient, be visible, and be safe. So we're trying to come up with some images and other helpful tips surrounding that will be useful for pedestrians, bicyclists, and especially motorists. I will say that this time of year it does get dark quite early, and there's still a lot of pedestrians out at those times, and I know visibility can be limited. So we're just trying to reinforce the message that everyone needs to be alert and aware of their surroundings.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, and yeah, it's alarming, obviously, to hear the 4 incidents happening. Also, not at all surprising, as you just mentioned, that it would be happening in November through the time here we are in January, where the light is really again, dramatically different, and people have to be very vigilant. So, thanks for that reminder, and we'll look for updates, continued updates around that. Okay, moving on, again, unfortunately also still connected in a sense in terms of public safety. Latest update on the Mass Ave and Appleton Street corridor accessibility and safety project.
Yeah. Great segue, James. So, we've been talking about this project for a while. As a reminder, the Select Board approved the project's conceptual design back in October of 2023. Since then, the full project team has continued to engage further with nearby residents and businesses, as well as our Transportation Advisory Committee and the Arlington Bicycle Advisory Committee. So we do now have a preliminary design as a very technical document that has various plan sets. So we are putting that on the website and encouraging residents to share feedback and or ask questions about the preliminary design plans by February 11th. So again, visit the town's website regarding that. And as a reminder, this preliminary design is going to be advanced to be what we call a shovel-ready design, or a full set of construction documents that will allow us to apply to the state into their Mass Works construction funding program late spring, early summer of this year. If we were successful, as we were in getting the early design monies through this same grant program, construction wouldn't occur until calendar year 2025.
Okay. As you said, we've talked about this a lot. You and I have, and the previous town manager and I did, and the previous town manager to that. It's been going on a long time. That's the reason why we have these town hall updates in a lot of ways, because it gives you a chance really to just keep people abreast of things as things are moving forward. So again, appreciate the latest word on that. Moving to, we're veering back and forth between sobering subjects and real reasons for celebration. Let's go back on the celebration side and say there's a couple of things coming up, big things coming up on the town calendar here at Town Hall.
For sure. So this Monday, January 15th, Arlington has its 36th annual Martin Luther King Jr. birthday observance. This will be held in the Town Hall Auditorium, as is typically the case. Doors are opening at 6 p.m. with the program starting at 6:30 p.m. This year's keynote speaker is Rashawn D. Hall, an esteemed civil rights attorney as well as criminal justice advocate. He's also the newly appointed president and CEO of the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts. So in addition to the speaking program, there will also be performances by the Arlington High School Music Department, as well as the Audison Middle School Chamber Orchestra. And, thanks in advance for ACMi for live streaming this important and quite popular event on the public channel.
Absolutely a huge part of the annual calendar here in Arlington, no doubt about it.
And then following that, on January 25th, giving a couple weeks notice here, we are going to be holding our second annual local Lunar New Year celebration, January 5th, 4 to 6 p.m., again at the Town Hall Auditorium. Action-packed agenda. There's going to be performances, activities, games, and much, much more. So for those who don't know, this is something that I became more educated about last year during our first annual event, but Lunar New Year is the most significant celebration of the year in cultures across Asia and is celebrated by millions of people all over the world as a sort of welcoming of spring. So last year was our first year hosting the event, and it was remarkably well attended. So we're very excited to have another wonderful celebration this year. And kudos to our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Division for coordinating this event alongside really a number of partners, including the Human Rights Commission, the Enhance Asian Community on Health, or EACH, Arlington High School's Asian American Coalition, the Club APS Mandarin Language Department, and finally, ACMi, again, for partnering to broadcast this important event for those who aren't able to make it down to Town Hall.
I agree 100% with everything you said there, Jim. Really a remarkably well-attended event last year for the first one, and really kind of showing that we had kind of hit on something that really resonates with the local community. I also learned a lot, as did you, about the diversity of Asian cultures that are celebrating Lunar New Year in different ways. I expect we're going to learn more this year as well. So great to know we've got a new staple on the calendar, and kudos to the DEI division, as you said. All right, we've got 4 new APD officers just sworn in.
Indeed. So we had 4 officers graduate the police academy last Thursday, which I believe was January 4th, and then they were sworn in the following morning, Friday the 5th, by Town Clerk Julie Brazil. It was really a wonderful event, attended by their families, lots of photographs and just a lot of excitement on the behalf of the new officers. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to again formally welcome them to Arlington. They are Officers Ryan Hood, Officer Brett Maraforti, Officer Caitlin O'Malley, and Officer Keith Asinas. So we welcome them aboard, and we wish them a long and sort of healthy career with the Arlington Police Department.
So graduation and right to work.
Indeed.
All right, anything else? We've obviously covered a bunch of topics as always, but anything else before we sign off?
Sure. Before signing off, again, while I have the attention, I'd just like to offer my personal thanks to our Department of Public Works and our Facilities Department for managing the most recent snow event this past weekend. It was certainly a tricky event that didn't quite follow exactly what the forecast was, and really every time we thought people might be in an opportunity to go home and catch some sleep, it seemed like another band would swing back through town and sort of extend the event another hour, another 2 hours. So I think it was a longer duration event than it was expected to be. It certainly brought with it some frustrations, but from my perspective, it appeared the town handled it very well. And kudos are also due to our residents for following that event, getting out there, clearing fire hydrants, but also, as was imperative given the deluge of rain we got on Tuesday, for making sure that the neighborhood's storm drains were clear and that water was able to find its way to where it needed to be. So, thanks to all who were involved with sort of managing the winter storm event, but then the rain event that followed.
Yeah, and forecasts say we could be in for a few more of these in the next little while. It's supposed to be a pretty stormy January, so we shall see how that goes. I'm so glad that you mentioned about the storm drains as well, because I wanted to say that, following your advice and the advice from the town, I myself cleared a couple of storm drains in the last couple of days, and I noticed that there were other people out there doing the same thing. So clearly somebody's listening, which is great.
Thank you for that.
All right, anything beyond that?
That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. I have been speaking with Jim Feeney. He is our town manager for this town hall update. Jim always makes it all the way up Mass Ave or by some other route up to here to ACMi, and we really appreciate it. He's a busy man, and he makes the time to do this. So thank you very much to him, and thank you to you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.